What's up? Oh, okay, rightio. So the aircraft coming in from Nandi in around about 25 minutes. They've requested AFB because they found cannabis. They've requested the attendance of the Australian Federal Police and Australian Border Force. They may have to keep everybody on board, question, find out where it came from. Still haven't cleared it for departure, so cleaners and stuff can't get on. So we may be copping a delay, but we'll see.
In Australia, just down the road can mean hundreds of kilometres. So to keep everyone connected, we rely on planes. And lots of them. Crucial to this highway in the sky is Melbourne Airport.
Melbourne Airport, expect the unexpected.
It's the busiest airport in the country that operates 24 hours a day.
They might not have experienced something like this before.
7 days a week.
We've had fog, we've had rain, so tonight we've got to get it done.
With unprecedented access.
The team are always on alert.
From the control tower
first aid call
to the tarmac.
It's all about speed.
To the airport's 24/7 nerve centre.
Even if there's an incident, we're the ones scrambling and passengers still have a smooth journey.
We're going behind the scenes.
We're looking at the cameras now.
To places very few people get to see.
What's inside that?
All to keep Melbourne Airport running smoothly, safely.
Suspected firearm still in the chamber.
And on time.
2 down, 1 to go.
At a 24/7 airport, every...
I don't want this kangaroo jumping anywhere.
...second counts.
Seas 10 to 6, we're on scene.
We've got a green light. We're good to go.
Control Bravo, departures by identified, maintain 3000. Maintain 3000, Hotel My Bravo.
They're too heavy for me.
Head of Media and Communications, Andrew, has always been an aviation buff.
Got to keep the place looking tidy. I love aeroplanes. I've always been a bit of a plane geek, so the fact I can look out at the runway from the office window is a bit of a buzz. I'm not the only plane nerd here. There's a lot of others. It's really good to work with people like that who sort of all share the passion. I can talk about aeroplanes in the office. No one rolls their eyes at me anymore. Hey, good, how are you?
Andrew is preparing for a big day at the airport.
Yep, so we're expecting today could be our busiest day ever in the international terminal. So we're expecting around 46,000 people through the international terminal.
And the Chinese airline Junyao will be touching down in Australia for the first time.
For us to be able to get a new carrier in from China is really exciting. And for them to be starting with daily flights as well, they're doing 3 days a week initially. Oh, sorry, can I just grab this? Hello, this is Andrew. So then there's another new plane. We've got a lot of new planes today.
The airport is also welcoming a new Malaysia Airlines aircraft.
Well, I'm kind of excited to get on board and see what they've done with it. You know, your car has a new smell when you get on. Planes do as well. You can tell it's new. Feels, I don't know, it feels good. I'm glad you were both early. It's taken a lot of pressure off.
This morning, Andrew will be sharing his excitement during 2 live TV crosses.
And they're on air at 7:10 and 7:20. So hopefully we'll have a nice shiny new plane for us to stand in front of.
And overnight, the first aircraft has picked up pace.
It's 6:46. Our plane's about 14 minutes away. It's a little bit early. Sometimes these early morning flights, they make up a lot of time overnight and you set your alarm and wake up and see that it's running 45 minutes early and it's a bit of a panic, so sorry. Hello, this is Andrew.
This morning, Andrew has arranged for a group of plane spotters to witness the new airline's arrival.
Oh, there's our spotters over there, just coming over for a look. We should see it in a moment, actually. There it is. There's our plane. Just touching down. It's very pretty. All planes are pretty, but this one's particularly pretty. Have a look at it. It's lovely.
As the inaugural flight touches down, it's greeted with a special welcome.
There's a lot of ceremony that goes into first flights. It's a real milestone that we like to mark. So we've arranged with the airport firefighting service for a water arch. It's just a really nice visual, you know, welcome to town. So here we go, they're moving again now, so everybody must be set up.
This morning, Terminal Coordinator Steve is starting his regular patrols.
Melbourne Airport, Stephen speaking. Good morning. I'd recognise that voice from anywhere. I'm good, how are you? Today, we've got the school holiday passenger traffic, so it is a very busy time. What do you have for us? I doubt you're calling to ask me what my favourite colour is. It's blue. It's blue, actually. We've been all right so far. Everything's been coping. All of our infrastructure and facilities are holding up. Today's going to be stock standard. Will hopefully be stock standard, actually, I should say. All right, too easy. Thanks. Bye.
In the Integrated Operations Centre, Steve is awaiting the return of an old workmate.
Hello.
Hey!
Hi, Peter.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
It's been too long.
Okay.
Good. I'm good. How are you?
Good.
So, Steph was my partner when I first started here as a terminal coordinator, and I was hers. We both started pretty much at the exact same time.
Yep.
And then she, quite rudely, actually, went off on maternity leave and had a baby.
Sorry.
But
No, it's good to be back.
yeah.
Hopefully something good happens today.
Melbourne Airport emergencies, what is the emergency?
Emily from Virgin. Our captain's requesting a paramedic at Foxtrot 13.
Yep.
She has severe chest pain. It's a female. She's 69. I don't think she's on any medication. She's just, I think, being wheeled off the aircraft now.
I'm going to have to run ahead. All right. So I'm going to run.
On alert to help with a medical emergency, Steve is racing to gate 13. And his colleague Steph also rushes to assist.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Thank you.
Every second can make a difference.
You have any medical history regarding heart problems or anything like that?
At gate 13, a female passenger is displaying symptoms of a potential heart attack and is being treated by first responders.
She's got pain down her back, bit of tightness in breath. She's nauseous. It's a 000 call out. So Ambulance Victoria are arriving at the moment. ARF, so Aviation Rescue Firefighting, they're on site. We should have the transport vehicle with us shortly.
For Steve and Steph and the first responders, swift action is a priority.
Just watch your back.
The fact that the response has been as quick as it has been is fantastic. And were anything to happen, hopefully it doesn't, we have majority of people here to help with the situation.
And within minutes, Ambulance Victoria has arrived on site.
Seeing the passenger sitting up, breathing, conscious is the best outcome we could hope for, and hopefully it stays like that.
So yeah, she seems okay. So
Presents differently for women.
And your phone number?
Yeah, it doesn't present the same as a man.
there you go.
Yeah.
It's not great. Both her and the husband were about to head to the Gold Coast for a wedding tomorrow.
No.
Well, they're definitely giving her something, so.
Nothing.
I really hope the issue might be identified. She's discharged and she can come back tomorrow on the first flight to the Gold Coast and get to the wedding. That's what we're hoping for.
However, within moments, the passenger's condition has changed.
They have administered the passenger some morphine because she was in a bit of pain. She does appear to have deteriorated a little bit, something to do with her blood pressure I've overheard. What I'm hoping doesn't happen is for the passenger to lose consciousness. If the passenger does lose consciousness, that's when we're really concerned.
As the patient's condition has worsened, the decision has been made to transfer her to the Royal Melbourne Hospital.
Steph and I have both been in a situation where it's the worst possible outcome. And so when we do see a passenger leave the airport and they're conscious and they're breathing, sometimes it can be a sense of closure for us, even though we really don't know their final outcome. Is the passenger going to be able to travel to the Gold Coast tomorrow? I genuinely don't know. I genuinely hope so. But there's also every chance they might have to cancel this trip.
Unfortunately, the patient wasn't able to fly to the Gold Coast, but she is now recovering from ongoing medical issues. At Melbourne Airport, it's not always 30 degrees and sunny. Managing turbulent weather is paramount to the safety of all travellers. And while planes are built to handle strong winds, rain, and even lightning, the weather data used by the Bureau of Meteorology ensures the safety of every flight path.
The Bureau of Meteorology plays a really critical role in not just forecasting for the general public, but also for aviation forecasting specifically. And our role is to make sure that planes take off and land safely right across Australia. At this location here, we do have observations being taken as well as weather balloons being launched.
Weather balloons were invented in the 1890s. Developed in France, they have since been widely used to obtain weather readings worldwide.
These balloons are actually made from natural rubber. They can expand a lot more than typical balloon that you do get at the party supply store. The weather balloon goes all the way up into the atmosphere until the hydrogen balloon expands and bursts. This is a radiosonde, so this is the critical part of the weather balloon that actually transmits the important information that we at the Bureau use to produce our forecasts for the airport. And it is attached to this foil parachute here. So because it will be falling back to the Earth, this parachute here helps to slow the fall a little bit more. They're quite light because it is made of polystyrene foam, weighs no more than probably 100 grams. And that means that as it does fall back to Earth, it essentially minimises any sort of impact that might have to any property or people on the ground.
This morning's readings will provide Melbourne Airport with essential data for all outbound aircraft.
So now we're going to the location where we actually launched the balloon. Because we use hydrogen gas, it is extremely flammable, so the balloon will actually be filled remotely.
Before the hydrogen gas can be pumped into the balloon, it needs to be secured to the gas line inside the balloon launcher.
So the balloon has been loaded, it is ready to fill with hydrogen, and so now we're standing where the hydrogen can be used to fill the balloon. That's of course done remotely. So we're now counting down from 3 minutes and 30 seconds, so just let that do its thing and fill with hydrogen.
Once the balloon gets released, it will start transmitting its data back down to the Bureau, who can then start to build their forecasts.
Once the balloon goes up, we receive data in real time on the screen. So that is the temperature, humidity, pressure, and also the wind speed and direction. But also from a forecaster point of view, on a day like today, it is quite humid and unsettled. So it tells us a little bit about the risk of storms.
Storm activity is one of the main disruptors to flights at Melbourne Airport. So it's crucial for pilots that all information is captured twice daily, every single day.
The weather balloon has been filled, so now we're going to call the air traffic control tower just to get the all clear before we do launch the balloon.
Aussie 824, wind 150 degrees, 3 knots, runway 16, clear to land. The Bureau of Met is based just in front of us here on site at the airport. They release a weather balloon and they call us for approval to release it.
Jonathan here from the Melbourne Hub. Are we good to launch?
Today's launch is given the all clear by the control tower, and Jonathan can now head outside and release the balloon.
Now we just check to make sure there are no planes in the immediate vicinity, and we're good to go, ready to launch.
The weather balloon has gone up.
There it is.
With the balloon now ascending into the atmosphere, it has already begun transmitting readings back down to Jonathan.
So the radiosonde is transmitting data in real time, and we're seeing this now on the computer screen here. So the temperature line is shown in the red. It's showing that going with height, temperature's declining quite quickly, so it's currently minus 18 degrees at a height of 6 kilometres. And this green line here shows us the relative humidity at all those different points in the atmosphere. But this is really critical information to tell us how the atmosphere is looking in that 3D sense.
Once all the information is collected, not only does the Bureau of Meteorology share it with Melbourne Airport, but they also publish their findings with agencies around the world.
In this image here, you can see there's quite a bit of water vapour and moisture moving across Melbourne and southeast Australia. Those storms approaching from the west, so everything's sort of lining up with the observations from the radio sonde and also what we're seeing in real time.
For now, the storms are not impacting flight departures. And as for this trusty weather device...
So the balloon does rise up into anywhere between 20 to 30 kilometres above the surface of the Earth, at which point it expands and then pops. Each radio sonde does have a serial number, and we can actually match that to the balloon launch itself to see where it actually did travel.
Just a fuss pot. Whoa.
This morning, Installation Director Ty and his team are visually transforming the Terminal 2 departures wall.
We always really enjoy working here because people tend to come up and ask us lots of questions about it. They want to take photos and put it on Instagram. So, yeah, it's good.
A part of the wall will be covered in red poppies to commemorate Remembrance Day.
The concept was that where it says Melbourne in the shape cut, the wider battens, that we would treat those areas. So we will cover up all the larger parts, and those parts will ultimately spell out Melbourne. And it looks really spectacular from when you stand back. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Reflecting the number of Victorians who lost their lives in World War I, approximately 19,000 poppies will be attached to the wall. And such a large-scale project requires extensive planning.
So we've got all the parts all sorted. They're all numbered. They've all been pre-prepared with the adhesive on the back, which is a removable tab. So we'll just work our way along, do all the longs and the shorts and all the odd-shaped pieces. But it's all pretty straightforward. We know the wall pretty well, so it all goes pretty smoothly. I reckon we're probably at about 12,000. 12,000 are up, yep. I think that'd be a pretty good guess.
Heavily involved in the commemoration is the airport support worker, Senior Chaplain Martin.
Oh, I love it this time of year when the wall gets done, and it's pretty amazing. Hey, Ty. How you going, mate?
How you going?
Good, good. And at 11 o'clock, we'll sand out the last post and everything else, so it'd be fantastic.
That'd be lovely.
This looks amazing once it's done, so...
Yeah, excellent.
Huge job. I sort of help in organising the ceremony, and I'm also responsible for recruiting the bugle players. And we'll have them scattered across the airport. And then it's just amazing to see the response of passengers and staff take the time to honour and respect those who have fallen, and we remember the lost on the 11th of the 11th.
The ceremony is happening very soon, so Ty and his team need to get cracking.
None of the U's done yet, so the U's still coming. That's in some other packaging that's coming up from the loading dock now. But, yeah, over halfway, a bit over halfway. Ready to go with this one, Jess? Okay.
It looks fantastic.
Cool.
So, yeah, all the best. Thanks, Ty.
Thanks, Mark.
See ya.
At T2, the installation of red poppies is ready just in time for Melbourne Airport's Remembrance Day service.
I think remembrance is even more important, the fact that we don't have any World War I diggers anymore. So it's up to us, the next generation, to remember and remember the sacrifice that was paid so that we can enjoy this freedom to travel around the world in relative peace.
For today's ceremony, Martin is wearing a special uniform.
This is known as a stole, and it's just worn as a way of signifying that we're doing something formal. It's worn as a garment that's part of a ritual. Say the oath.
Accompanied by bugle player Alan, Martin commences today's ceremony with the Ode of Remembrance.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we could just pause for a moment, please. They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. In the going down of the sun, we will remember them, lest we forget.
The last post is a bugle call from the late 18th century, traditionally used by the British Army to mark the end of a day in military camp. It is now used by Commonwealth nations at military funerals and ceremonies commemorating those who have died in war.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. It's just amazing in a busy airport to see an airport, and right across our terminals would have gone silent for those few minutes. It's a really special time, just for 3 or 4 minutes to stand and reflect and remember. So very special time. Thanks again. All right, really appreciate it.
This escalator is completely cactus.
Oh, going down?
The one that used to come up.
This afternoon, terminal coordinators Steve and Steph are patrolling with purpose.
It's like running a marathon with him.
Oh, I just have that habit.
He is so fast. When we do our walks, you just...
It's like I'm being chased.
Yeah. I don't like to walk that fast, but you know.
You don't like to walk.
I do, sometimes.
In the terminal, Steve is trying to fix a monitor.
What's wrong with it? It wasn't on, so I need to find out if it was off for a reason. Yo. Oh, okay, rightio. Okay, no problems. All right, we'll head down. All right, thanks. Bye. So the aircraft coming in from Nandi in around about 25 minutes. They've requested AFP because they found cannabis in the cabin.
Fiji Airways staff found a cannabis vape under a seat while the flight was mid-air. Steve and Steph immediately head to the gate.
They've requested the attendance of the Australian Federal Police and Australian Border Force. So being an illicit substance, of course, the relevant authorities are going to attend.
It is a criminal offence to bring narcotics into Australia. And at Gate 5, the Federal Police and Australian Border Force are already on site.
So the issue that's currently unfolding is a matter for the Federal Police and Border Force. I'm here to make sure that there's not going to be any other, I suppose, roll-on impacts to the airport. So if passengers do have to stay on board, it's going to then impact the flight going back out to Nandi. They're already offloading the bags. If passengers aren't able to go down and collect the bags, that could then impact the next airline that's using that arrivals carousel. Hey guys, just wondering, with this one, would we be holding passengers on board for a little bit, do you know, or?
There'll be a few passengers.
Yeah, totally fair. So the aircraft's now pulled onto bay, bridge has been docked, Border Force and the Federal Police were there to meet it on arrival. They may have to keep everybody on board, question people, find out where it came from. Does it belong to somebody on board that flight? Did it actually come from a flight on the previous sector? Yeah, we don't know. That's up to the Border Force and the Federal Police.
As police interview passengers on board about the vape, the airline's schedule may be interrupted.
AFP and ABF still haven't cleared it for departure, so cleaners and stuff can't get on. So we may be copping a delay, but we'll see. So this aircraft is due to go back to Nandi at 1:45, and the time is now 12:40. So we are getting to those critical moments regarding a delay.
After a lengthy investigation into the origin of a cannabis vape found on a plane, some passengers are finally allowed to exit the aircraft.
So the majority of the passengers have disembarked, and then a few more are coming off in very slow jibs and drabs. So I'd say they're the passengers that are being questioned by AFP and ABF.
After their investigations, authorities couldn't ascertain who owned the vape left under a seat. Therefore, they were unable to make an arrest.
So what they found on board was a vape that contained THC oil. It is still the same response from law enforcement, whether or not it's a small amount, big amount. It's still an illicit substance, something that needs to be controlled coming into Australia. Cleaners have got on, caterers have got on. We still have around about, say, maybe 50 minutes until departure, so every chance that this aircraft will get out on time or with a minimal delay.
Welcoming a new airline to Melbourne Airport is a cause for celebration.
This is our formal welcome ceremony for Junior. So we've got their Deputy Chairman, we've got our Chief of Aviation, just the dignitaries doing a little formal welcome to Melbourne.
And self-confessed plane geek Andrew is thrilled to welcome another new aircraft, also arriving today.
Malaysia Airlines is bringing in their brand new A330neo on its first ever commercial flight this morning, and they're opening it up to media. Well, it's always exciting to see something new. And to be one of the first to get to have a look at it, that's always a bit of a buzz as well. So I'll be interested to just have a look and see what they've done with it.
As Andrew awaits the arrival of the new Malaysia Airlines plane,
and there goes Junior.
The Junior aircraft is ready to make its return flight.
Oh, the spotters will lose their minds if those two go past each other. The photo that dreams are made of if you're a plane spotter, so very exciting. Can't believe the timing gods have worked out. That Malaysia was supposed to land about 25 minutes after Junior took off, so Malaysia's come in early, so the spotters have kicked a goal there. Here's Malaysia, about to touch down. There we go, look at that, very pretty. So that's the first ever commercial flight for that aircraft all done. It's beautiful, very shiny new plane. Oh, look at that. The airfield team have just sent me a video of the spotters. Look at that, Malaysia lands. There's all the spotters. Just pan around, keep panning, panning. And there's Junior going past. It's the moment AvGeek dreams are made of. Go and see if we can make some more dreams.
And after one final interview...
Yeah, so it's a particularly exciting day for us because we've got a new airline and a new plane. You don't often get either, so to get both on the one day is really exciting. And we're very proud of the fact that they chose Melbourne as the first place they wanted to fly it.
Andrew's duties are done.
And I'm a bit cooked. It's been fun though, but I'm cooked.
Jetstar 901 Melbourne Tower.
Tower, g'day, Jetstar 901.
As gatekeepers of the sky,
Cathay 134, follow the Jetstar 320 on Echo.
Australian air traffic controllers manage 11% of the world's airspace.
Mike Clear B3, request taxi Airways clearance, Hollywood Charlie.
Q-Link 79 ground left into Victor, then Tango.
Runway 16, clear lane, Qantas 605.
They are responsible for clearing and controlling aircraft.
S1E10 behind outbound company, continue to the back.
As they take off and land safely around the country.
18 knots.
27's closed, Alpha's closed. Tug Purple 2, give way to the China Eastern A330, they're turning north into Alpha.
But not all traffic controllers are found in towers next to the runway. Air Services Australia operates 29 control towers across the country, as well as 2 larger operation centres based in Brisbane and Melbourne.
Malaysia 123, contact centre 133.5. Just confirm you've got a flight plan in the system.
I think a lot of people think that aircraft are controlled from their departure tower, but we've got a whole middle chunk of the flight where you need to be constantly watched for the safety of passengers and the planes and everyone, that there's someone looking out for them in the sky.
At the moment, I'm controlling what we call ranges airspace, which is basically a third of my airspace around Dubbo, Broken Hill, up to Unadilla.
As an air traffic controller, Gemma is tasked with making certain all aircraft flight paths are clear and safe, and no potential conflicts arise between planes en route.
I'm talking to a lot of pilots at the moment. I've got about 20 on frequency. Airline pilots from a lot of international airlines, Australian airlines, all coming through the airspace at the same time. Everything that they want to do, they have to ask for my permission, essentially. You'd be surprised how often, actually, 2 aircraft will be wanting to be at the exact latitude, longitude, altitude. It happens all the time.
Each nation has control over its own airspace, and an aircraft flying out of one zone and into another must get air traffic control's permission before crossing those borders. For Gemma and her colleagues, safety is critical.
We have a lot of tools that will alert us to potential conflicts, whether they're short-term or longer range. Sharp 462 Melbourne Centre standby. And the aircraft also have their systems that will alert them to potential conflicts.
It can take up to 2 years of training and work placement to become a fully qualified air traffic controller. And to be selected, you'll need to display certain characteristics.
It's definitely a personality trait for an air traffic controller to be able to remain calm. I didn't really know what I wanted to do when I left school, but my dad is actually a pilot for Emirates. And so I kind of grew up around aviation, and he wanted me to learn to fly, and I said, absolutely not. I'd rather have my feet on the ground. And yeah, I applied, and here we are. He was very proud. We have actually spoken on the radio before a couple of times, which was very emotional for both of us. I cried, he cried. Yeah, it was very, very special. Definitely my favourite day at work.
It's a new day, and in Terminal 2, there's a flurry of activity.
Would you please take coffee orders and any food orders that the team would like, the models? It's under control. Everything's looking great, but let's hope that the next couple of hours stay that way too.
Event managers Sharon and Catherine are currently setting up for a fashion show to premiere the airport's new range of uniforms.
So I'm part of the events team at Melbourne Airport, and today I'm coordinating this event with Sharon. I'm just basically looking after all the logistics.
They need food first.
Yep.
They need makeup.
Yes.
And then they get their outfits on.
So we have 34 models today. They are all staff from around Melbourne Airport.
Lanyards, lanyards.
Lanyards, lanyards. This has been in the works for a few years now. No, I don't have it down.
Okay, I'm going to give her a quick ring.
Nothing bad is going to happen today. We've got this all under control and it will go off smoothly.
The production today is as professional as it gets. From the runway and photographers to the special guest hosts, the ever-fabulous Mitch and Mark.
We are so delighted to be in Melbourne.
We are very excited.
Big day for Melbourne Airport. It's the first time in the history of the universe that they've had a consistent uniform through a whole airport team.
We're very excited to be able to host that because it's unique, it's new, very Melbourne, very chic.
Jumping off patrol and onto the runway for today's event is Terminal Coordinator Steve.
I haven't actually been on this type of runway before, but look, it's the first time and I'm sure it'll be the last time. How long would it take to fix this? Their first choice wasn't available, neither was their second or third. Eventually they got to me and I'm a sucker for a free breakfast. I don't actually know what the free breakfast is. I'm hoping it's a proper, breakfast and not just like a model's breakfast, like black coffee and a cigarette.
Thank you.
Hey, here we go, thank you. Yeah, run.
I think I need a headset. You've got one for me anyway, because I want to communicate with Alex if they're not smiling enough, if they're looking down. The thing I've been the most worried about is that the models aren't real models. they're staff, and this is just really new to them. I never worry about what we do, the preparation and the work that Catherine does regarding the logistics, but it's just all those things that can happen right at the end. Yeah, you don't hear from me, you know it's all going perfectly.
Showtime isn't far off, so the budding models need to get their gear on.
I'm wearing the puffer vest, the shirt and the chinos, and the black kicks. Here we are. But the good thing about the uniform is we can mix and match the different pieces to kind of suit our style. So this is the grand reveal.
What do you think?
Yeah, I really like it. These pants are very tight though. So one wrong move at the hip and this is turning into a different kind of show. And I don't give that for free.
How's your day been?
Yeah, all right, all right.
All right.
Easy. Now it's a little bit quiet.
Yeah. It's that lull before the storm? Yep. See ya.
As Melbourne Airport's only full-time chaplain, Martin is back on the beat.
You're right there, ma'am. Looking for the right gate. I must say this is the best job I've ever had. Knowing that maybe we've made a little bit of a difference, go down the bottom of the escalator and then you'll see the updated board on where the gates are.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
It might be helping people who are homeless or turn up at the airport, people with mental health, but then it can be some significant stuff like when there's a death or a major incident, and obviously human care is needed, and we sit alongside those people through those processes.
Today, he's on his way to support a young homeless man
How are you?
who missed a flight to Sydney last night and slept in the airport.
So we're going to head down to Terminal 4 to meet the young man who arrived at the airport last night, homeless. His family, they can't help because they had bought him a ticket, but unfortunately he missed his flight due to, not being able to make life work, which happens because it can be very chaotic. So I'll go and meet him. Because he's showing a bit of anxiety, I'm going to take him through security. Well, he hasn't had anything to eat for a few days, so I'm going to make sure he has some lunch before we get him on a flight, so.
Martin first met Evan this morning in a distressed state.
He was very stressed out, didn't know what to do, almost on the verge of tears. Only the staff who phoned me were concerned about him.
And he's come to offer some support to Evan before he boards his flight.
Oh, yeah. You going? Yeah, I was also looking for you. How are you going?
Yeah, heaps good.
At least you've got a smile on your face. It was a bit tough this morning when I saw you.
Yeah, it's been a little bit stressful, but thanks to you, you really helped me.
Yeah.
Through the generosity of the airport, Evan is being provided with a ticket to Sydney and will depart this afternoon. And Martin has organised a meal for him.
So what I'll do, I'll get you some lunch. You can just sit in this area here. At least I know he's got food in him, and that way, he's got something to get him through till he gets himself sorted. Thank you. I think sometimes one of our roles is to give people a little bit of hope when they feel that there's no hope. So he's lost his ticket, he's got family saying they can't help. Now that he knows he's going home, you can see he's feeling better about himself, and hopefully that's what we've helped make happen.
After a quick meal, Evan is ready to board his flight.
My friends are grateful that I can finally get home and not have to spend another day on the streets in Melbourne.
Well, that's it. It's tough on the streets.
Yeah, it's been rough.
Yeah, Evan's good to go now. He didn't want to spend another night on the streets in Melbourne. Getting him home where he's with his family and friends is fantastic. What about a hug, mate? Yeah, take care, and I hope everything works out for you, all right? Yes. You're amazing, all right? Amazing young man. Take care.
Melbourne Airport's amazing. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. It's good to go home. Yeah, it means a lot. It's good to know that there's still people out there, that are kind, and it gives me hope for people. Like, I've been let down by a lot of people, and there's not many people that are willing to help without any attachments.
We feel so privileged and humbled that we are in a place where we can make a difference. We don't always get a positive response. There are sometimes those negative, but the majority of people and the majority of staff are so welcoming to us, and we just feel humbled to be able to sometimes make a difference for people. It's something that gets me out of bed every day. Hey guys, how are you?
In Terminal 2's shopping precinct, the staff models for today's fashion show are getting some last-minute catwalk tips.
Any tips or tricks for heading down this runway?
Yep, 1 foot after the other.
Fair enough.
Really?
Okay, fair enough.
I believe all the models are very excited. I haven't seen any nervousness from them. There is a few that didn't feel like they needed any hair or makeup because they're already beautiful. Look at you! Look how cute you look!
With the guests from the various airline partners seated,
The standing room behind,
It's almost time for a fashion takeoff on a very different type of runway.
We've got 150 people here today, and it's a really, really big deal for Melbourne Airport to launch this. We've got TV cameras, we've got videographers, we've got photographers.
All right, hunt down.
They were very excited at rehearsal yesterday, so I think they'll be pretty good.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think so too.
Just want to make sure I don't fall over.
Good morning, Melbourne Airport. Welcome to the runway show.
Mitch and I are so excited to see the people who will be wearing this showing it off to you today.
Get on your run!
Slow down. Smile. I am forever going to be a woo girl. I am there to cheer them on always.
Let's go! We have Melbourne Airport reception Lynn looking stylish and smart in a suit, black shirt. Michelle is wearing the same blazer but with a scoop neck blouse. Very Melbourne.
Now, Crystal's wearing a black suit and look at gorgeous pop of blush underneath. She looks cute as in those white sneakers that are also branded.
Nobody's fallen over yet, but we still have more than half the team to go.
Laura, Sharon and Daniel. This time with a modern teal colour.
Melbourne, Mitch, is the home of Onboard.
It's all about style and comfort.
Work at Aviation.
Steve shows how the black shirt with teal green trim can be worn with a very cool puffer and black chino.
We see the Melbourne Bypass logo everywhere.
Smile. Tesh also has a branded polo, chinos and a more personal belt that features the teal bypass treatment.
Even the logo on the back, fantastic.
All this work just for it to be over and done with in about 20 minutes.
Give a big round of applause for all of our models. Yes! Don't miss them. You can't miss them.
Today has been 10 out of 10.
That was so much fun. We always knew that it was going to be a great success, and it just all came together right at the end.
All of the models have strutted their stuff, and it's time to celebrate with collection designer Julie.
We're just delighted with the way it went. It's time to just relax a little bit and share in the success of it. It was fun. It was so much fun.
Done. We're finished.
Let's go and have our photo taken. Come on. Yeah, come on. A lot of work has gone into the organisation and the logistics, and it was really worth all the hard effort.
For the 20,000 dedicated and passionate people who work at Melbourne Airport,
it's always good to know that our work's appreciated, keeps you doing what you're doing and loving what you're doing.
safe travel is always a priority.
Whether it's me as the CEO or the electrician doing a job, we all play our part.
From over 3,000 cameras in the IOC,
the most simple things could be the issue.
to the baggage handlers below the wing.
Good job, Shane. Thank you.
Every single department works tirelessly around the clock.
Anything else that heads my way before 1 a.m, I can get through it.
In the mini-city that never sleeps.
All stations, all stations.
Because welcoming travellers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I had hair before I started this job.
And connecting people to loved ones, adventure, and the world is the heart of Melbourne Airport.
I love my job. No one else has an office like this, really.